Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing this evening? We've got about 3/8 of our house filled. I appreciate all y'all being here. I'd like to welcome you to the Tuesday, October 4th, 2022 Carteret County Board of Education meeting. Excuse me. I just ate dinner, so I'm a little bit lethargic. Before we get rolling into our agenda, we've got something we'd like to do for Dr. Jackson. I think Renee Jackson should be, maybe she's outside.
She's rolling in.
But if she's going to come in.
She's locked out.
Did you know Renee Jackson? His wife is here. Yes. So as we all know, as you and the audience know, that Dr. Jackson is moving on to maybe not greater things.
He's moving on.
But he is moving on, which breaks our heart. But before he moved on, we would like to recognize, each of us would like to recognize Dr. Jackson and Renee. I know Rob has come in and become my personal friend. I spent a long weekend with him recently in the mountains in a van for 3 days. And
Did you say no or nothing?
know someone well, but not only has he become a friend to our county, but he has become a true friend to me. And it is, when he let me know that he was going to make this decision, it was, I had many sleepless nights. But more importantly, his wife Renee, who was back here in the back, she is friends with a lot of people I'm friends with, and I talk to them all the time. And while they're making a decision for themselves, and I understand why, it has broken their hearts because they have grown to love Renee. And y'all are going to truly be missed, not only for what you do for the county, but, for what you do personally and the friendships you've made, with the board members, with your staff, with the people out here in the audience. So, before I give this gift, does anybody else want to say anything? Because I'm about to. Anybody else?
Absolutely. First of all, Dr. Jackson, you led us through a time that nobody could have imagined, and did it with grace, and it was stressful for everybody. And Renee, for you, it's hard for us to understand the amount of time that he spends away. But it's one of your endearing qualities is how passionate you are about going to all these events. And we are incredibly lucky to have had you. Don't do that. Incredibly lucky to have had you here. I wish it was longer. But to me, it's almost like a good storyline for a movie, having started in Buncombe County where you did, and going back to lead them. They are certainly fortunate. I'm still upset about it, but am so pleased for you to be able to go home. And Renee, thank you for sharing him with us. And you do have a family and a home here for as long as you're around. So thank you.
Anybody else?
Dr. Jackson, you poured your heart out for Carteret County Public Schools. There is, even among those few who disagree with you, would not disagree with the amount of passion you poured into your job. And of course, I reminded you a few times that you need to go home. And so I'm glad Renee is here, and I've told Renee I reminded you, but it's just kind of like being at home. Nobody pays attention to what I say. But we were blessed. We have been blessed, and we will be blessed until October the 31st to enjoy your time among us. Thank you for choosing to apply for this job and accepting it. We are the benefactors.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Anybody else?
No, because I said I wasn't a crier. I'm not sure if I am or not.
We don't mind.
Oh, no. No, I thank you. I came on here. Dennis and I came after you were already here, and you can plan for this position as much as you want, but you're not ready ever. And you made this such an easy process. And as you've told all of us, I know your staff, family first. So while we're sad to see you go, family first.
I'm just going to say, dang it, Rob. Just going to leave it at that.
We are all so thoroughly disappointed when Dr. Jackson came on 2 years ago. He was an outsider. We didn't know anything about him other than an interview process. And so when you came on, we kind of had to work through it and figure out each other and all of us. It didn't take any time at all. It was very obvious that you were here for the right reasons. You are here for the children. He is always so pleasant, but you could always stand us down when it was something that you really felt passionate about, especially when it came to the children, and you're always here for the right reasons. And just like Clark, I feel like you're a friend, and I am incredibly sad to see you go.
And I'm also sad to see you go. But I want to say that I think you've made our schools better, and I think you've made all of us better people.
Absolutely.
We appreciate it.
Can Catherine still call you every day?
Yes.
You're not going to change your number, man.
Burner phone.
Change his number.
Before we give you the gift, I won't, at one point we were leaning towards a crab pot Christmas tree. And I put the nix on that because I was like, it'll only come out once a year and I want him to be reminded of us every day. So, Dr. Jackson, you and Renee from the board. If you want to, we'll go down there and take a picture with you. Okay? And get, but this is also a picture I want you to frame and put on. I'm serious. Well, when I come visit you.
You want to see it?
So
We're going to see it. Yeah, we'll go stand down there with Renee.
Oh,
on your mantle.
Use the picture of us.
So this is, Catherine has the details, but this is handcrafted by an award-winning decoy carver in Harkers Island.
Straits, Brother Gaskell, yes.
Harkers Island. And, we, again, it's just a small token of our appreciation for everything you've done. And I want you to look at that every day and think of this.
promise I will.
The Applebee's gift.
Go get some pictures. We like to do pictures here.
Dollar King. Still trying to figure that out.
One, two, three. Show that dog.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for
I'm not gonna gut punch you.
Still email you at 3 a.m. when he has a question.
You're right.
Seriously, are you going to change your number, you think?
It's a burner.
Do like Catherine.
I'd change my number probably. But get a burner phone with that number.
Being mean to me. That's the.
Hey, and Renee, we did this first so you can leave. All the same. Okay.
You might want to leave. It's no pressure at all.
Oh, okay. Anybody else have anything to say before we get this meeting started? Okay. So now I am going to have the invocation done by Miss Catherine Chadwick.
Bow our heads. Heavenly Father, give us guidance as we gather tonight. Be with us and help us to be able to discuss matters at hand in a productive way that keeps the children and you in the forefront of our decision making. Let our work here tonight be in all your glory. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. And next up, we have got Beaufort Middle School with Ms. DePinto, and we got Mr. Jack Salter and Mr. Garrett Wallace, and they are going to be doing the Pledge of Allegiance.
I'll recognize them in just a minute, but just, if I may, take a liberty and just say, on behalf of the principals, I think I can say that we appreciate your service here too. And you have been, since my first interview here, very supportive and kind and gracious. And I could tell from the things that the board members said, I would agree that you are here for the right reasons. And I have no doubt that you're going to continue to do that. And we appreciate you as well. And then I have to say one thing. He told me that I was kind of on the spot because I was starting the board meeting, his last board meeting, so I'm a little nervous, but I shouldn't be nervous because these amazing gentlemen, come on up, guys. I've got Garrett Wallace and Jack Salter here with me tonight, two of our 8th grade students from Beaufort Middle School. Both are excelling in the classroom and the sports fields and all the other things that they do as students. I asked teachers to help me nominate 2 students to come with me tonight, and they were immediately nominated and by multiple people. So I had them joining me. I had to get Garrett off the football field a little bit early, and Jack's been helping us out. He is also a Boy Scout. He helps us out with our flags, raising and lowering our flags at Beaufort Middle School. So we're super proud of both of them, and I will turn it to them to lead us in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good job, fellas. That is picture time. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we get, come on, board members. Come down and get pictures with these fellas.
Stay here. Yeah, you might be able to see us.
Stay up here. Okay, they won't stand there. I'm going to give these to you, and we're going to stand up. You're Garrett? Yeah?
I'm Garrett.
Jack, this is for you.
He will.
Did a great job. Well, I prefer to say you.
Yes. Ranking and freaking. Oh, God.
You need to smile. You might say we're the smartest.
1, 2, 3. And again. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, thank you. That was the year of my birth. Oh,
This guy didn't finish the job. 54 ones.
all right, now I'm going to move on to a resolution. And this resolution is recognizing October as National Principals Month. Whereas the month of October 2022 is National Principals Month, and whereas the Carteret County Public School System is fortunate to have dedicated and devoted principals serving as our educational leaders in our schools, and whereas principals are entrusted with our county's most valuable resource, young people, and whereas principals are educational visionaries, instructional leaders, assessment experts, disciplinarians, community builders, public relations experts, budget analysts, facility managers, special program administrators, and guardians of various legal, contractual, and policy mandates and initiatives. And whereas Principals set the academic tone for their school and work collaboratively with teachers and teacher leaders to develop and maintain high curriculum standards and set performance goals and objectives. And whereas principals create school environments that facilitate great teaching and learning and continuous school improvement. And whereas National Principals Month is a means to recognize principals for the leadership they provide, for providing high-quality learning opportunities for students, and for exemplary contributions to the educational profession. Therefore, be it resolved that the Carteret County Board of Education members honor and recognize the contribution of school principals to the success of students in this county and in this nation, and encourages the citizens of Carteret County to join with them in expressing appreciation to principals for ensuring that every child has access to high-quality education. Adopted this the 4th day of October 2022. We appreciate you, principals. Our principal left, but we've got some extra.
Sitting together.
So I move to approve the resolution as presented.
A motion to approve the resolution by Reverend Goodwin. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. McLean. All in favor, raise your right hand. Approved unanimously. Great job. Thank you all so much. Now
Mr. Chairman,
yes.
I move to amend the agenda to add item 4.8 to consider the memorandum of understanding for Carteret County Public Schools, North Carolina, Pre-K and Coastal Community Action Incorporated, 5-year agreement for 2022 through 2027, and add a closed session after item 7.4 to consider a confidential personnel matter pursuant to General Statute 143-318.11A6.
Reverend Goodwin has made a motion to amend the agenda. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second by Ms. Wheatley. All in favor, raise your right hand. Very good. Now do I have a consideration of approval for the amended agenda?
So moved.
I've got a motion by Ms. Chadwick. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. McLean. All in favor, raise your right hand. Very good. The amended meeting agenda has been approved. Now we will do public comment, and I will read this green sheet. So it is now time for public comment. Anyone present tonight wishing to make comment should have filled out a request to speak public comment form. To ensure civility, relevance, and time management, there are specific requirements for public comment set forth in school board policy. They include comments are limited to matters pertaining to public education. Speaker shall state his or her name at the beginning of his or her comment. Speaking time will be limited to 3 minutes per person. A 3-minute timer will appear on the TV screens at the bottom corner. The timer will beep when there are 30 seconds remaining. It will then beep a final time when your time is up. For civility and decorum, no speaker shall make obscene remarks or issue personal attacks or insult. No complaint against a school employee or student will be permitted, although this may be heard in closed session at a later date following consultation with the superintendent. Much information about individual students, including a speaker's own child, is confidential under state and federal law, and we discourage and often prohibit such information in open session. The chairperson may immediately terminate any comments that violate these rules. Board members will not respond to questions except occasionally to request clarification. With that introduction, our first speaker tonight is Ms. Colleen Thompson.
Hello, Colleen Thompson. Been here for months and months. I just wanted to share with you, I know that we put the mask matter to bed last month, but I wanted to share with you last night I attended the college fair at Carteret Community College. 48 college campuses were present. My daughter spoke to about 41 of them. We were there for quite some time. And the absolute incredulous looks on faces when my daughters told them that they attend the early college next door in the building right next to where the fair was, and that the school was being closed. and the amount of college representatives that could not believe that, number one, we had a county that didn't fight for early college, and number two, we had a county that closed an early college. It was amazing to see. So I just want to let you know, in addition to the belief I think that is out there that it had absolutely no impact on the students, my daughter Emily wanted me to say that it does. She is absolutely heartbroken and devastated, and the college representatives were absolutely flabbergasted that that opportunity was erased for future students of Carteret County.
Thank you, Ms. Thompson. Next up, Mr. Eugene Thompson.
Good evening. I am Eugene Thompson, have 3 children who attend Carteret County Public Schools. While the outcome of the vote to close Mass Early College High School is expected, but still disappointing, the rationale for doing so was even more disappointing. As I went back and watched your rationale for voting as you did, I believe you gave the citizens of Carteret County lip service. You hid behind the county commissioners, you hid behind the limits placed on the set number of students for each class, you hid behind promoting other programs, you hid behind the failures of the state government for your actions, and you hid behind personal animosity towards the Mass program. There are arguments I can make for the reasons you stated personally and in the resolution for closure as read by Mr. McLean, but time restraints on my speaking do not allow me to do so adequately and is immaterial at this time. If you even think that dual enrollment or the college to career promise programs will not have limitations or be discriminatory, you're wrong. Also, let me tell you the students who attended and who are attending Mass are affected by this closure and the events which have led to the closure and have been since its first reared its ugly head. They will forever remember your determination and resolve in the attempts to close their early college high school. Beginning in 2019, the forbiddance of adding classmates after the class of 2023 entered, and the eventual closure in 2023. Congratulations on your achievement and for going down in history as the only Board of Education to close an early college high school in North Carolina. Dr. Jackson, my family and I thank you for your leadership and service to Carteret County Public Schools and wish you well in your future endeavors. Mr. Paylor, we've known you since you were at Newport Elementary School, and we're looking forward to your leading Carteret County Public Schools and wish you well in your upcoming time as superintendent. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Mr. Thompson. So now we are looking at a first read policy.
Consent.
Excuse me. I've got to get a motion to approve the
I
consent.
move
Blair.
I move to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Reverend Goodwin has made a motion to approve the consent agenda. Do I have a second?
Second.
A second by Mr. McLean. All in favor, raise your right hand. Very good. Now Mr. Probst can come up.
Good evening, Board. I'm going to be briefed. Before you is first read policies. These policies come from the School Board Association's Spring 2022 update packets. Again, many of these revisions just mirror state board policy changes, federal and state legislation, and precedent set by case law. Some editorial changes and wording changes, but nothing really indicative of anything special to really point out to you. There was one local proposed revision. In policy 4318, there is a use of communication devices. The term smartwatches was added as an example of an electronic device, and that's to correlate with our code of student conduct that already has that in there for disciplinary purposes. That's the only change to that was locally proposed. I'll be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Any questions for Mr. Probst? Very good.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great job, by the way. Next up is Dr. Jackson with consideration of bus drivers and bus monitors pay grade change.
Thank you. Good evening, board members, and there'll be opportunity moving forward, but thank you. This evening, I have the opportunity to stand in for our Chief Finance Officer who sends her regrets. She's not feeling well this evening. On behalf of our staff, our administrators, we'd like to request the board to consider a change to the way our bus drivers and bus monitors are paid. Essentially, we'd like to change them to a pay grade 56. Pay grade 56 is the same pay grade that teacher assistants receive. Currently, when a teacher assistant stops work as a teacher assistant and starts work as a bus driver, they lose on average 45 cents an hour. Through this request, we're asking that the two pay grades be the same so they would no longer have that loss of pay while they're doing the important work of driving our buses. The change will cost an additional approximately $24,000 to $30,000 to the school system, but I absolutely believe it's worth the cost as it will help us with the recruitment of teacher assistants and bus drivers and the retention of our valuable bus drivers. Be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Questions?
Retroactive?
We would propose just to make that as effective with this current pay cycle, which is last Monday. Chair, I'll move to approve the bus driver and bus monitor pay grade change.
Mr. Day has made a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Ms. Chadwick has made a second. All in favor, raise your right hand. That is unanimous.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Jackson. All right, next up, we will have Mr. Paler give us a capital projects and bond update.
Good evening, Board. With our capital projects, the last time I reported to you about painting was that we were waiting on parking lot paint. That we finally were able to get that. So our painting is about 99% complete at Newport Middle and Newport Elementary School. The flooring projects, we completed the big project at Newport Elementary, which was placing all the tile in the 600 building, which is the 5th grade wing. We have ordered the carpet for Moorhead Elementary and Beaufort Middle School, and we hope to do that over the holiday break. So that's the capital projects. All the other projects that were for on the capital this year, we've ordered. We have POs for them, with the exception of one project, so everything's underway like it should be. As far as the bond goes, we'll look at this in a little bit, but Carteret is coming along nicely. The steel actually is on site, and within a week or so, 2 weeks, it'll start looking like a building. So it'll start going up. So that's exciting. Carteret Preschool Center, we have had a pre-construction meeting with that GC, and we have just got a storage trailer there. They're going to start moving everything out of the building that's going to be demolished, and that'll take place, the demolition of that will take place at the end of this month. And lastly, the security walls. We've met with the general contractor about the security walls. We have a plan for moving forward. Right now, as it has been in the past, we're having a little bit of difficulty actually securing the brick for those projects. So we had a plan in place on how we were going to move forward with it, but now it's going to be the project will start probably with whatever, because there's different color bricks for every project. So whatever bricks we can get a hold of first is the project that'll start. But we didn't want to go and dig footings and have a hole in the ground and then not have the materials to ramp up and go. So we're just going to wait till we get all the materials, and then we'll go start with those projects. This is a time-lapse video from the beginning of the Carteret project. We just thought we would play for you. Instead of having pictures, we're going to let this roll, and I'll answer any questions you have at the end. So you see closest to us is the parking lot, and you'll see in a little bit that the curbs and gutters are going in. And in the background, up on the hill is where the building is, and they have all the footings in place. They're actually getting ready to pour the slab, and that's when the steel will start going up. So you can see right here, there's the steel on site, and it'll be, as I said, going up, taking shape soon. Okay. Any questions?
Is Wimco, is this their video?
It is.
And so they provide this to you so you can?
They do, yes.
Is that standard operating procedure?
For Wimco.
Okay.
And we're actually working to get this on the website so that this time-lapse video, anyone can go in there and click on it and see what's going on.
if you'll let them know how much I appreciate them doing this. So, especially that we can put it on our website for the public to see.
I will.
Z has been really complimentary of them working around, bus schedules or cars coming in. I think real professional, and I think she's been really pleased.
They've been fantastic to work with.
That's great.
All right. Any questions or thoughts for Mr. Paler? Very good. Great job. All right, Dr. Jackson.
Good evening, board members. This is the 28th time that I've shared superintendent's comments during a regular monthly meeting of the Board of Education, and the last. Soon it will be time for me to go. It's been an incredible honor to serve as your superintendent. Many have written, texted, and called over the last few weeks to say thanks. But I could say as much to all Carteretans. Renee and I are grateful for the opportunity you gave us to serve. President Ronald Reagan and President John Kennedy gave speeches where they hearkened back to the words of John Winthrop, a pilgrim who said to his fellow pilgrims before they left for the New World that the new community they would create would be a shining city upon a hill. That was, has been, and is true of our country. I do not think it's too much of a stretch to say the same of this school system. Carteret County Public Schools is also a shining city upon a hill, sending out a beacon of hope, of strength, of love, of safety, and of care. As I entered the city 2+ years ago, I asked 3 questions of everyone I encountered. I asked the questions as I met individually with school board members, with administrators, with teachers and staff. I asked the 3 questions of people I encountered in the grocery store and of the groups I had the pleasure to speak with. I asked the 3 questions as I attended town council meetings in each municipality in Carteret County and as I attended county commissioner meetings. In those hundreds of conversations, I asked, what do you love best about this school system? What should never change in this school system? And what should I be working on first? The answer to the first question was universal. As time after time I heard that what was loved best about this school system was and is the people. The students, the teachers, the staff, the administrators, and the community. I heard that what makes this school system so exceptional is the people who serve here. The talented men and women who clearly love and care about the children and the young people they serve. The theme that emerged as the answer to the second question was linked to the first. I heard that the value the system placed on people should never change. I heard that the system should never fail to focus fully on the students. Finally, as I asked the third question, I watched as people struggled to answer what needed to be worked on first because so much was going so well. I heard that the system should continue to look for ways to support teachers and staff and that the students must always come first. This evening, as my season with you begins to fulfill, I've reflected that one of the only people that I did not ask the 3 questions of was and is myself. And so as I ponder President Reagan's question, how stands the city? I turn back to the 3 questions I arrived with. What do you love best about this school system? I, too, love the people of this system best. Here I've encountered incredible commitment and dedication as teachers and staff give their all for our students. I have watched as they have implemented pandemic mitigation strategies with fidelity to get and keep our students back in class as soon as safely possible. I've seen them support our students in attaining historical academic excellence with each and every school meeting or exceeding growth during the pandemic. I've seen them pitch in and cover for each other when quarantine sidelined many of their teammates. In my mind, The light that shines from this school system is the reflected light that they each shine in the work they do, shining brighter together. When I consider what should never change in this school system, I also echo what I heard upon my arrival. Students should and must come first. They've always been the focus of this school system and must remain front and center. So too must the support for teachers, administrators, and staff remain resolute. I'm proud that together we were able to add school nurses in every school building and a school resource officer in all of our elementary, middle, and high schools. I'm grateful that through our joint advocacy, we were able to secure the first increases in the local supplement for classified and certified staff members in 15 years, and that we've been able to increase salaries for all staff members, honoring their loyal and dedicated service to this school system. Caring for our staff is caring for our students. As they give deeply of themselves in service to our students, the school system must always give deeply of itself in service to those who serve our children. Finally, what should the school system be working on first? All educational institutions, including Carteret County Public Schools, must continue to commit to serving each and every child who comes in the front door, regardless of whether they are easier or tougher to love, regardless of demographic characteristics, regardless of the financial shape of their family unit. Every child deserves and is worthy of all that we have to give. And so, as the president asked, how stands the city this fall night? More successful, more secure, and as indicated by the North Carolina Teacher Working Conditions Survey, happier than it has been. But more than that, she still stands strong and true on the Crystal Coast. And her glow is held steady no matter what the storm. And she's still a beacon, still a magnet for all families who enter seeking bright and successful futures for their children. With the pandemic behind us, we can say that we've done our part. And as I turn towards home in a new adventure, a final word to the amazing men and women from Cedar Island to Cedar Point that I've been blessed to serve and serve with. My friends, we did it. We weren't just marking time during an incredible challenge. We made a difference. We made the city stronger, and we left her in good hands. All in all, not bad at all. God bless you, and God bless Carteret County Public School System. We have been, we are, and we will remain Carteret strong. Mr. Chair, this concludes my comments.
All right. I'm looking for a motion to go into closed session.
So moved.
We've got a motion by Mr. McLean. Do I have a second?
Second.
A second by Ms. Whately. All in favor, raise your right hand. Thank you for coming tonight. Closed session.